Hello, 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 everybody. Welcome to a special Saturday afternoon session where I'm jumping on just to finish out the free readings from earlier this morning. There is no chat because I'm not taking any new requests in this session, but I will be back in about 3 hours for my evening session. So join me then. Also, tomorrow morning at 11 a.m. Mountain Time is when I will be back as well. So after I'm completed here, I will put a little pinned comment at the bottom with the order in which I have completed the readings, and that way you can find your reading faster. So let's jump into it. I did have one donation. Thank you so much, Dune, for your donation that I did not complete. So thank you for your patience in getting to this reading for you. I'm glad you waited because I do want to give it its due justice instead of rushing to slide it in before we head out. So you wanted to know here a general for next month for March. So let's take a look here and see what does Spirit want you to know for March. What are they wanting to bring to your attention? All right. They do want this and these. All right. Let's see what we have happening here. The overall energy for March is very action oriented with the Emperor card coming in here. The Emperor is Aries energy. It is a lot about, you know, taking action, deciding, the Emperor always gets all these advisors blabbing in their ear about what they should be doing, supposed to be doing, all those opinions of the outside world, right? Well, the Emperor's like, at some point, thank everyone, clear the throne room. I am going to decide what I want, and putting a plan together, putting like structure, and then steps. What's the next steps? And then taking steps. So I like this in March. I feel like it's a big aha type of energy that comes in where you're like, all right, I've had enough. This is what I want to do, putting action behind it, and I'm doing it. And I like that because it's been bubbling here for a while, right? So let's take a look and see what Spirit has here. That was the underlying energy. Yeah, here's the planning. I see it. I see it. Yep. And boom, boom. All right. So we've got March here is a clarity on your dream come true with the star card, wishing upon a star, right? And I feel like this is a month of, again, with that Emperor energy, it's you deciding, okay, this is my dream. This is what my dream come true is. And you have the Ace of Pentacles, which is about, on one side, looking at your worth in a relationship to the outside world in a completely different way. And also at the same time, it's about new opportunities, new birth. And so I like this because this is in the outside world that you're taking action. There is significant change that's coming in here. You have the Nine of Swords coming in sideways, which for me is you're in the middle of letting go of these fears, the insomnia, the nightmares, right? It's the, I no longer, like with that Emperor card, I no longer care about all of these thoughts and beliefs and mindsets that pleasing other people, the supposed to be's, the should be's, these stories that I've kept in my life all this time. And there's this freedom that's coming with that, right? Because the 9 is like you're almost exhausted from having so much on your mind, so many fears, so many rules that you're like, "All right, that's it. I know that you're supposed to this, you're supposed to that, you should this," but you're like, "No, this is what I want. This is what I'm gonna do, and I'm going for it." And you're putting the it's like the fears are in the rearview mirror. You're just like, I'm leaving you guys in the dust. I'm not worried about this anymore. I'm gonna go live the dream and pursue what I want. What am I waiting for, right? And I do see here, here's that king of the emperor energy. The two of wands is about looking at what you want to do, where you want to head, and making those plans and taking steps on them too. You know, you're seeing what you're wanting and you're putting specific things. It's no longer just like, I don't know what I'm going to do. It's like, I know what I want to do. This is what has to happen. And I'm taking steps towards making it happen rather than kind of waiting for things to come your way, you know? And I like this month of March too, with both the 8 of Wands and the 10 of Wands. The 10 of Wands is all the energy you've been investing, all the energy you've been investing in other things. And you're fine tuning this. You're bringing back energy where you're investing it in things. And this can be mental energy, emotional energy, spiritual energy, physical energy. And you're bringing it into like, okay, this is what I want to do. And when you have this determination, when you find that, this North Star, when you determine this is my guiding light, what I'm going to head toward, they call it like on a compass, like your true north, and you use that compass to guide you. And anything that comes your way that is decisions, it's like, does it support me heading my true north? No, then I don't invest energy in it. And this is what's coming in here for March. I feel like a lot of clarity, a lot of that you have this great opportunity to really move beyond that and step out of those any beliefs around lack that's on the bottom here, you know, and because you have the 10 of Pentacles, which is abundance. And so you have this, where are you investing all this energy? Is this what you're wanting to do? Instead of, trying to come up with a lot of plans on money and finance, I feel like that's where a lot of the energy is being invested, but really zeroing in like, what is your dream? Not what the finances will bring, but it's like, what is your true dream? If you're like 100 years old looking back on your life, what are you going to wish that you'd have done more of and experienced? And you're like, are you going to wish you had worked more? Probably not. It's like, what's important? And I feel like you're really gleaning and gaining that during the month of March. So I like that for you, Dune. And that is what they have for you. So thank you again for your donation. I greatly appreciate that. All right. And so for the free readings, we had left off with Anusri. So Anusri, you will be up first for the free readings. Let's give these another little shuffle here. There we go. All right. So Anusri, you want to know, do you already know your future spouse? All right, let's take a look here and see what Spirit has here for you. Do you know them already? I don't feel like you do yet. You've got the 4 of Swords, which is like peace of mind, and the 9 of Wands, which represents like a barrier, something that's been holding back. And so with this 9 of Wands, that's what makes me really feel like there's been a barrier, something that's been keeping you from moving forward, which with the 4 of Swords here, the 4 of Swords is about, rest, seeing things from a higher perspective, letting expectations go. And I feel like that's a big part of what the barrier is and why they're not in your life yet is because you've got, a lot of thoughts and beliefs and mindsets like we all do growing up, right? All the parents and society and movies and everything else, this list of who someone is supposed to be, who we're supposed to be, how it's all supposed to unfold. But that's what's keeping it back. That's what's holding us back is we have this like these blinders on like a horse has blinders so it doesn't get scared of things and startled by things over here. But that's where the person is. They're over here outside of our list. And once we dismantle that list and open things up more, then we're, able to be open to accepting them. Otherwise, right now, that's why they're not moving in, is because we still need to look at those expectations and release some of those things. So I don't feel like you know them yet, and that's what we can do to help them and that to find them sooner because you are destined to meet them. And what happens is when you have these blinders on, Spirit is nudging you to over here where you eventually see them like this. But if you remove these expectations, you can see them earlier. See how that works? That's pretty cool. All right. So that's what they got for you, Nusri. Many blessings to you. And then Bonita, you are up next. So what's coming up for you in general? All right. What does Spirit want you to know? about what is coming up in general. All right, look at here. So you got the Star card and you've got the Queen of Cups. So, this really is quite an emotional, um, I want to say a surge. It's not so much a tsunami where it's like, oh my gosh, it's more of a from inside up and out. Because the Queen of Cups rolls over cups and emotions, and all the queens are given a second portion. So she's the master of emotion. She can dive deep and bring things up from the surface. And that's what I feel here with the Star card, which is like dreams come true, connection to the spirit world, connecting to our higher selves. Both of these are very, very spiritual cards and spiritual energy. So you do have this time of upgrade, drawing more up to the spirit world and not like dying or anything, like internal that's coming in there. Got to be careful how I say things. Um, but there is this clarity that comes in about what is this dream come true? Because the Queen of Cups is like your emotions and what's bubbling below the surface in your high heart wants to share. Like, what is this dream come true? How do you want to uniquely express this unconditional love in your heart with the world in your own unique way? And so I really like this coming in for you. It's like this aha, this connection. It just feels like you're expanding and a lot of clarity coming in about what it is that you want in life and what is it that you don't. And it bubbles up from below here in the deep heart that comes up. So I like this for you. This is what's coming up for you because I feel like it does alter a lot of like who you want to be with, what you want to do with your career, where you want to live. I just feel like there's this, it's like a change of heart is a good, if I had to put like a title on it, change of heart is what's coming. And it's because you're changing to your high heart from your low human heart, your lower human heart. So that's what they got coming in there. Hopefully that makes sense for there, Benita. So many blessings to you. And then Goldie, you want to know the month of March for you. What does Spirit want you to give you heads up with? Okay. So let's take a look here. All right. Wow. So you got you got 4 cards that they threw out here. 2 of them are 4s. I like this. You got the 4 of Wands, the Emperor, the major arcana number 4. And this is all about, I don't know, this is about um, joy and celebration and gathering, but making choices about here too around marriage with the 4 of Wands. Because you also have the Lover's card here and the High Priestess. And so the High Priestess is about trusting intuition, diving deep within. I mean, you got the Emperor and the High Priestess, which represents some pretty powerful divine masculine, divine feminine energies. And you got the Lover's card and the Wands card coming in here too. And I feel like there's some big decisions that you're making and big choices that you're making in your life in March. And if you're not like getting a proposal that you're deciding if you're accepting it or not, I feel like it's more so that you're like, what does marriage look like for me? What do I want? What would bring me joy? Who do I want? A lot of choice energy coming in here. Trusting your heart, getting out of your mind, but a real balance between the divine masculine and feminine. Like there's certain things that you're going to be open to with the divine feminine, but the divine masculine energy, I feel is like you're like, but I know what I will accept and what I won't, what I want for me and what I don't. And I just feel like you're making some strong decisions around partnership and marriage and lovers and um, just desire around that in the month of March. So I like that, Goldie. I feel like you're just like, all right. I feel like you've got a lot of information and you're coming to decisions, if that makes sense. So that's what's coming in, Goldie. Hopefully that makes sense to you. All right. So many blessings to you. And Pinky, you are up next. So you want to know what is happening in your divine counterpart's life. Let's take a look here. So what is happening in your divine counterpart's life? All right. Wow. So you got the 10 of Cups and the 10 of Pentacles. So your divine counterpart, they are really focusing in here on love, relationship, what it looks like. And I feel like they're really, um, maybe with Valentine's Day, love is really, really, really on their minds and with what they're wanting in life. And they're excited and they see this. It's like they've had some sort of glimpse of what they want to, experience and love. And I like this. It just feels like they are daydreaming about future love and someday. And I feel like they have been doing a lot of work and a lot of stuff in the outside world to try to prepare for everything. And I feel like they're just sitting there and, maybe they're on a vacation or maybe they're on something or they're away from everything. Maybe they took a long weekend out to the boonies out in nature, but they're just kind of like staring off into a sunrise, a sunset, going, all of this is for that and it's worth it. And I'm so looking forward to it. It's that kind of energy. So they're very much in this romantic mood, not towards someone else. I feel like they're working so hard and their life has been so busy that this pause that they're taking, this is like taking a big deep breath and refocusing and going, this is what this is for. I want this to be secure and happy and excited. And I'm doing this inner work. Maybe they're even like on a retreat where they're doing inner work and releasing stuff so that they can be the best version of themselves for their partner. And I love that. Wow, Pinky. You're like, what are you doing? What is happening in your life? You're like, dang, well, he needs to catch up anyway, right? All right. So that's what they got for you, Pinky. Many blessings to you. Excuse me. And then Angelina, you are love. You want to know, how does the Leo perceive you? Of course, this is through their own eyes. And so it doesn't mean it's a good, clear perception. But so just take it with a grain of salt with whatever we have here. Okay, well, it's not a bad thing. So the Leo here, they do see here with the Two of Cups that it's an important relationship that you have here. They do perceive you as a bit with a hermit, maybe a bit of an introvert, someone who kind of, you're kind of maybe in a cave. You are not distant, but the perception that they have is that you're kind of withdrawn. But again, it's because I feel like they are kind of withdrawn, and you're probably going, "Me? That's them." Well, we're mirrors for each other, and it is actually both of you kind of feel like you're pulled back a little bit, um, just with I don't know, it's always fear that makes us pull back, but it's, I just feel like is it the same for both of you? It feels like just a very strong like mirror that you guys are really in the same kind of mindset. And I don't know, did you guys like have a very intimate moment or close moment where it was like, and it kind of maybe not really, well, kind of scared each other a little bit, like, whoa, this, got deep or something. It just feels like it got like, whoa, okay, wait, hold on a sec. And it cannot even be conscious. This could be subconscious. And it's like, we're just kind of stepping back and kind of just not like way, way back, but just like a little baby step back. And I feel like that's the kind of energy that's in there is like they perceive that you've done that, but you perceive they've done that. And really, it's both of you that have done it. So interesting. But that's what they have for you, Angelina. So many blessings to you. Right. And then Magana, you are up. So hello, hello. You had asked about these guys in your class. Oh, yeah. Not your cousins, but that they're cousins for each other. I remember this. And you're no in contact. Will they ever become friends or will they initiate conversation? Let's take a look here. Let's see, based on current energies. All right, that's number one and number two. So let's take a look here. Yeah, it looks like here, number one, TS feels like they're really, really, out of either one of them, I feel like they will be the one to contact you. But the Ace of Swords, I feel like they're really, really, see if it'll focus, really, really into their studies. Ace of Swords is in their head. I feel like they're just really invested in their education. I almost feel like something happened with their education for both of them here, because YS feels like they are in their head with the Nine of Swords, nightmare and insomnia, and I almost feel like they're opposites. Excuse me, where I feel like they got bad test scores or a bad grade, or they had something that happened that really shook them. Number one redoubles their efforts to go, well, I got this. I just need to study a little more, or blah blah blah. But number two, YS, I feel like they really are just like freaking out and are like afraid that they're not going to be able to do it and be able to stay in school or do well in school because they're in their fears, so they're out of their minds, so they're not connected to their beautiful brain. The other one, more confident, not scared, so can perform well in their studies. So I feel like that neither are going to initiate a conversation right now because they're so in depth into their studies, and I can see here, with the Five of Swords, that's conflict and communication, and then also we've got the Justice card, which is balancing of communication with all this, and the Three of Swords, which is disappointment and not meeting up to your expectations. So we just realize that whatever unfolds in our life is for us. So you can ask yourself, are you in communication with yourself? How are you not in communication with yourself? Because what you're looking for from them, you find within yourself. And so what what were you looking to gain from them and their communication, and how are you not looking to yourself for that? I feel like that's the big aha for the moment for you. Right? So that's what they have there for you, Magana. So many blessings to you. And then Anjou 777, you want to know, how will your love life upgrade? All right. Let's take a look here. See what we have here. How will it upgrade? Well, here's the Empress. So Mother Nature, Mother Nurture, and your love life will upgrade here. The Five of Pentacles is a movement away from feelings of abandonment, lack, being left out in the cold, that kind of energy. The Empress is Mother Nature, Mother Nurture, new birth, and harvest. And that's how your love does upgrade, by you looking into this self-love that's going on in here. The Five of Pentacles is these feelings of not being good enough and lack, and all that comes from feeling abandoned when we were younger. I probably have shared with you before that Take 10 was then episodes 4 and 5. Episode 5 is the Six of Pentacles, which comes after the Five of Pentacles, and it has to do with this balancing of our worthiness, the rate of exchange that we developed when we were younger. There's this clearing out of it, and if you take a look at that playlist on my main page at the very top, it's Take 10%. If you look at episodes 4 and 5, those are things that you can do to help bring these faded events, this faded love to you sooner. Otherwise, it's going to drag on because the things are going slow to allow you to give you time to raise your love vibration, to have that love upgrade. But the love upgrade happens when you're raising your love vibration. It draws in higher love. So it does require you to release this force field that the little inner child has up, going, no, 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 you don't deserve this yet. But you do. It's just a matter of bringing that unconscious rate of love exchange to your consciousness, alter it so that you can allow love to come in. But it all starts in there with that Mother Nature, Mother Nurture, and nurturing your self love. And that's how the love upgrades on the outside world happen, right? So we can't love the world or anyone in it more than to the extent we love ourselves, nor receive love from others more than the extent we love ourselves. So if I love myself that much, it's going to trickle in and trickle out. But when I increase my self love, that also opens up my pipeline to the people in the outside world. So I can give a lot more love and receive a lot more love. So it's a win win, win win with that. All right. So that's what's coming in for you, Anjou. So many blessings to you. And then Jean, hello, hello, love. And you wanted to know what are Virgo's energies towards you. And you also want to know the underlying energies. All right, let's take a look here. All right. So Virgo's energy towards you. And oh, okay. So I see her on the surface. Well, the underlying energy, we do have the Lover's card and the Ace of Wands and the Knight of Cups. So there is this, the underlying energy is that they do have passion. They do have want to move on emotion. Again, they do have this energy that's there, but it just feels like these are the big thinkers. And we've got, there's this victory feeling here, equal passions and victory. This is the kind of energy that they have towards you, but they also have the Nine of Swords, so a lot of fears, insomnia, and the Three of Wands about this. I feel like the fear is that there will be a change of directions. And I don't know, it just because I just feel like this huge overthinking going on in my head. And as I connect with their energy, and it's like, what if this isn't, the ultimate? What if there's something else? What if I make a wrong choice? What if this? What if that? What if this? Blah, 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 blah. That's all these fears bouncing around in their head of, well, but what, but, like they're being a butthead, because all that buts are in their head. And I just don't feel like they uh, just feel comfortable acting on anything yet, even though beneath the surface, they're like, they know it down and deep in the surface. They got that passion, they have that spark, they've got this, seeing that what a great partner you would be. And, it's like, I want to share this, I want to do this. But they're on this quest for love too. And, that's where all that comes in is when we're on a quest for our inner love, anything on the outside world doesn't match up to it. And I feel like that's a lot of their fears is like, well, I thought all this other stuff was going to make me feel fulfilled. And what if there's something else? What if, again, all the butt heading going on there. So I still feel like they're looking at the Three of Wands going, well, maybe I need to go a different direction. Maybe I need to think differently. This is what's going on in you know, uh, their head, even though all that stuff's going on below the surface. And so, thus, you might be like picking up they're very confused. I get it because I think they are. But hopefully that helps Jean going, all right, there we go. And we got a Virgo full moon coming up next week too. So their energies are probably all over the place because their Virgo thinking is being amplified too. All right. So that's what's got coming in there for you. So many blessings to you, Jean. All right. Tortoise Love, you are up. So you want to know, hello, any messages from spirit guides on a situation between you, your specific person, and you? All right. Oh, you're very welcome. Let's take a look here. Yeah. So, you've got the King of Cups. So this, specific person really seems like a balanced individual between head and heart, right? And I see that here. And they seem really like a dream come true and a very dreamy person. Three of Wands is about you learning new information and taking an off ramp into a different direction than you thought you would with them. And it's not, it's not like it's bad, but I feel like this person, this specific person in this situation is, you know, something like if you meet your hero or you meet your crush and you get to know your crush or you get to know something more about someone, it just changes your perspective of them going, "Oh." It's like if you pass someone passes you on a road, like they're driving, it's a 2 lanes on your side, and you see someone at the corner of your eye and go, "Oh, wow, they're hot." And then they get stopped at the stoplight and you drive up next to them and you're like, "Oh my gosh, I'm gonna look at him, I'm gonna look at him." And you're like, "Oh, they're not anything who you thought they were." You're like, "Oh, I totally," you had this image in your mind and you get clarity and then you off ramp it to go a different direction. This is the kind of energy that's coming in toward us, love. So, I hopefully that makes sense to you. But that's what's coming in. I feel like you get to know more about an individual, this individual. You do take an off ramp to go in a different direction because of the new information. Not that there's something, but you're just like, oh, yeah, not as enthusiastic about them or the situation as you were before. So that's what's coming in for you there, tortoise love. So many blessings to you. And then, almighty great courts, you are up. So, who is this person coming towards you? Are they a good person? Are they good for you? Let's take a look here and see who is this person and what does Spirit want you to know about them? Wow. So it's someone, wow. I mean, Emperor is the ruler of all the kings. And then you have the King of Swords too. Someone very intelligent, because the Emperor represents like all four kings, and all the kings get air, right? Um, in addition to ruling over their own suit. So the Emperor represents 4 parts air, and then 1 part earth, 1 part water, 1 part fire. The and then you got the King of Swords, which represents 2 more parts air. So 6 parts air and thinking and communication and upper thinking, and then 1 part earth, 1 part fire, 1 part water. So I feel like the person that's coming in um, is a big thinker, maybe an air sign with all that air. Oh my God. But they're very much in their head, very much, maybe more uh, knowledge focused than emotion focused. So I don't feel like there's anything evil here, when you're talking about is he a good person or an evil person. I just feel like they're a very intellectual person, which, you could take as, geeky nerd who is all about the thinking and the thoughts, but emotions and feelings. So it would be someone that you would go, what do they think about me rather than what do they feel about me? If you ask them, what do they feel about me? Or like 1 part feeling to 6 part thinking. So they'll be more thinking about you and how you fit into their world than they would about feeling. It's like a friend of mine who's married to an Aquarius. She was like, "Yeah, just sometimes you just got to ask your Aquarius husband for emotion. They forget sometimes." She's like, "You just learn to live with it." She goes, "Everything else is great. I love all of their air signy stuff. Just the only thing that that I just sometimes get cranky about is I have to ask for some emotion sometimes. And it's there and they give it freely. I just have to ask." So that's what's coming in, great courts. Hopefully that brings some clarity there for you, but nothing evil, just very much in their heads. So, all right, many blessings. Right. And then Mars, you are up. Anything that the universe wants to tell you about anything soon? All right, let's take a look here. So, what is happening soon that Spirit wants you to know about here? All right, in the bottom of the deck. Oh. All right, so 2 sevens. You got these wonderful sevens coming in. You have the Seven of Pentacles, which is, of course, the last thing that grows on the fruit tree is the fruit. And, what's keeping some things from coming in sooner is the Seven of Swords, which has to do with our own thoughts and beliefs and mindsets that deceive us, cheat, kind of cheat us out of things coming in sooner because of these beliefs we have about worthiness and, any kind of deceptive thoughts and beliefs that are bouncing around below the surface here. So, two sevens is about obstacles and, what the universe would tell you is like whenever we're getting obstacle cards like that, it's not happening to us, right? It's not like the universe is going, ha ha, let me keep you from stuff. They're always for us, always loving us. It's always for our good, for our, goodest, our goodest experience. I'm gonna mess up my English. So I feel like what Spirit is saying is here is that if you can look at these things, these thoughts and beliefs that are being put in front of you on purpose, for a purpose, it's so that you can remove these things, that speeds things up for you. And, otherwise, if they just let you find it along the way, will wander, it'll take a long time, and they understand your it's like they've heard your prayers of, "Can we move things along?" Like, "Sure, you just need to deal with this." And you're like, "Whoa, okay, well, I will deal with this then. Thank you." But I feel like that's what they're wanting you to know. And so whatever these thoughts and beliefs that have limited you in the past and kept you blinded and bound and trapped, these are what you're going to be coming forward, and you're going to be transforming them and transitioning in those. And that's what's going to bring things in faster for you. So that's what they have there for you. Mars, so many blessings to you. And you know what area of your life that's for, whether it's love or probably love, right? Or job or education or living or whatever it may be. But it can be any of those things. All right. So many blessings, my dear, and enjoy. All right, Andrea, 54 Hector, you are up. So a message from your passed on loved ones, and you would like for prayer for your family. You lost two family members in 5 days. Aw, your cousin on Saturday and your uncle on Monday. Okay. Yeah, I know those are tough for us that are left behind. They're having a blast, Um, they're like a place with no limitations and powerfulness and everything. They're like, don't mourn us. We're having a blast. But I understand, and it's funny, both your cousin and your uncle seem like kind of sassy energy where they're like, oh, I can understand why you would miss us, but don't miss us for our sake, know that we are having a blast where we're at. In fact, I'm really being drawn to this fairy wisdom oracle for a message from them to you. And let's take a look here. The moment anyone goes to the other side and withdraws out of their human to be fully spirit again, they're right by our side always, until we go up to the other side. And they don't have to share their time in between everyone either. They can be with you 100% of the time as if they're only present with you. And also with that person, also with that person. That's how powerful we are. So just know that they are with you. They will be showing you signs, giving you messages, and let's see what message they have for you here. Wow, the card came flying out. and we got trespassers. Card number 56. Very sassy. Let's take a look here and see what this is about here. So 56. This is about boundaries. So this is interesting. So they're saying fairies have boundaries too. They're usually in the form of magical spells placed around sacred places in order to keep out those who might tamper with their sacred objects. They also have an invisible magic boundary around their realm. And it's not easy to break through this boundary, but it can be done when one knows the secret words? Are you having trouble respecting the boundaries of others? Is someone not respecting your boundaries? A third question is, what kinds of boundaries or limits am I placing upon myself? I feel like that is the one that they're wanting to really focus in on. What kinds of boundaries or limits are you placing upon yourself? This is the question to ask yourself in order to discover which area of your life you can work on. You cannot expect others to respect your boundaries if you're not clear with them yourself. You must state clearly and honestly to others about where you draw your lines. Be kind, but clear about your expectations. In turn, be respectful of others' boundaries also. Their business is their own. Be careful not to gossip or spread rumors. Watch that you do not loudly gab on your cell phone in public places, infringing upon the space of others. Boundaries can be trespassed in many ways, and it's up to you to think before doing. This card also invites you to consider the boundaries that we place upon ourselves. We often set these limitations on ourselves due to lack of self confidence, self respect, or even lack of knowledge. Release any unwarranted restrictions that you have assumed. Release limiting habits and thought patterns. The dragon at your gate can either protect you or hinder you. What will you ask it to do? Sneak into the fairy realm today. So sneak into their realm today. I like this energy. Not sure if they were individuals who would protect you and stand up for you in the past. And I feel like if they were, the energy that comes in with this is that they're like, girl, you got to stand up for yourself. We're not there to protect you anymore. Stand up for you. Don't let them walk all over you. You stand up. Don't be mean, but stand up, ask for what you want. You set your boundaries, respect others, but also respect your own. And what boundaries have you put that are keeping you restricted as well, and to be aware of that. So I like that message for you. I mean, you got the magician card on the bottom, which is all about recognize the magic that's within you. You have so much power over your life and that you don't have to hold back. And I feel like this message for you, is they realize the powerful beings that we are, that represents our higher self, has the infinity symbol, which represents, that we are these powerful, supernatural, eternal spirit beings made of unconditional love. And they're like, we ain't gone nowhere. We just turned in our rental vehicles and now we're hanging around with you 24/7. Lucky you, they're just very funny individuals, very giddy, very happy, and just know that they're in a place of endless joy, no suffering, and great things. And they're around every single person, and it was all planned. That they were going to pass around this time. So didn't happen to them. It's like it happened according to script. So here we go, right? So hang in there, Andrea. Hopefully that helps. And we do send you lots of love, and but just know you're not alone. They're definitely with you consistently. Probably you're like, all right, at some point you're going to go, leave me alone. Because I feel like they are going to play some great tricks on you too, in some wonderful ways. So there you go. All right. Hang in there, my dear. Many blessings to you. Now, Michelle is you. Hello, hello. And blessings. Oh, thank you so much. Blessings to me. Appreciate that. Many blessings to you. And you'd like a general reading. So what does Spirit want you to know right now? I'm just going to give these a little shuffle. Let's see what else we've got here. All right. 2 major arcana. You got the Judgment card, which definitely is this your higher self calling you to this higher place. The Hanged Man looking and seeing things from a higher perspective. So both of these do represent that type of energy of being drawn higher and higher and higher. An important spiritual connection, transformation too. Of I feel like you're in this either in or about to go through some significant changes with two major arcana coming in here. But it's about spirit bringing clarity and your connection to spirit bringing clarity around what it is you want to do. Where is it when you wanting to head? And I just feel like you've been in a stage for a while, you know, not a long while. I feel like not compared to some other stages, right? You're like, no, this wasn't so bad compared to some others. But I feel like you're ready for the change. You're ready for, okay, this has been good, but now I'm ready for something different. I'm ready for this transformation, ready for this change. And spirit is calling you to different location, different job, different relationship, different place in your life. Whatever that means for you at this point, you're ready for it. And you're ready for this change, and it is being supported by spirit. Just takes taking a big deep breath, stepping away from everything, looking at things from a different perspective, and realizing what is it that of your mind that's been influencing it, but what is the heart is where spirit is wanting you to be guided from. That's your nav system is in your heart. The mind will get a little fuzzy around stuff because it'll sometimes revert into some fears and some old belief systems, blah blah blah, yada yada yada, etc. etc. Your guys are funny. But the heart is where you get your clarity. So I like that for you, Michelle. Hopefully that makes sense to you, but that's what spirit has for you right now. So many blessings to you. All right. And then Asuna-san, you are up. Hello. So you want to ask, does Renga and you have a karmic relationship? If it's true, we'll end up always end up breaking up. Okay, I see. Let's take a look here and see what's going on here. And karmic relationships, I think, if it's like a destined relationship, destiny, we have like past life connections. It's like, is this karmic relationship is like, do you have a destined relationship in this lifetime? You guys have past life connections, of course. Um, yeah. Um, and that's why you guys have this draw. And so it didn't always end up breaking up in the past. You've had relationships in the past where they've been solid foundations and all that. You've had tons of different experiences. We we are like spiritual scientists in a way. We're very curious. We want to see things from all these different perspectives, and we do have that type of stuff come in. Um, so with your relationship that you have now, I mean, this is telling me with the Three of Cups, which represents spiritual posse, spiritual connections that you guys do and have been. That's the confirmation for me with all of that. And the Four of Pentacles is about a solid foundation, in the outside world. That's coming in here, but there's a big lesson that comes in with all of this that all our relationships are mirrors, all our relationships that we have in every lifetime. One of the big things it teaches us is that they can't make us happy. And I know, what? Why do we want to experience that? Well, I think we do experience joy and celebration. The Three of Cups does show us that too. But one of the big things that every relationship teaches us, whether it's romantic, friends, family, whatever, we're taught your self worth, define it by relationships, situations, and things. And when we do, we feel out of control and unstable because all of those things are out of our control and unstable. People change, people walk away, people pass away. So relationships are unstable, right? Situations never stay the same. Job, education, whatever, never stays the same. Unstable. Things, our bodies, our bank accounts break down, deteriorate, blow up, burn down, stolen. All of that is unstable in the outside world. And so when we realize that the outside world can never give us what we're looking for, we eventually become bored and disappointed enough with those in the past that we turn inward and upward and like, oh, there it is. The only stable thing we can find in any realm is the eternal, unconditional love of the creator of all things in the spirit world. We allow that to fill us up and that to define us. We realize that's where I find self-worth, capital S self-worth. Out here is just retail price. The price that I think I'm worth to others is retail. It's what they're willing to pay for me. And that changes. Eventually we end up on a clearance rack, right? And so there is this, energy here of just understanding, when there are endings, there are endings and beginnings, there are rebirths, but all this stuff happens to turn us inward and upward, to find our power, to find our fulfillment. It doesn't mean we stop wanting love in the outside world. We just stop needing it. And then we're full. Whatever they give is above and beyond extra instead of always falling short and lacking. So all of these relationships, they don't always end up breaking up. We end up realizing a lot about ourselves, though, through the process. And that's when we eventually turn inward and upward. And we're like, "Ah, there's the love I've been looking for." And then people give us love from the outside world, and it's above and beyond and amazing. We're focusing on who someone is and celebrating them instead of who they're not and how they're falling short. So it's an important part of our mirror relationships. It's what happens in every single one. It's what they're designed for. Mirrors, mirrors, walking around, asking who's the fairest of them all. And when they tell us it's Snow White, we get mad and then we look to kill her or poison her like Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, right? I think she was the one with the mirror, mirror on the wall. But anyway, long story short, it's always designed to turn you inward and upward, regardless of what relationship it has been. And you've had other people in other lifetimes too, and maybe even in this lifetime, but they all teach us that same thing. So there you go. All right, that's what they have for you, Asuna. Hopefully that's helpful. Many blessings to you. And then Rogue Majestic 1111, you are up. So you want to know, will Gemini and you, the Scorpio, reconcile? Let's take a look here. All right. With the Ace of Swords and the Moon card, Ace of Swords is about mental clarity, seeing things from a different perspective, higher perspective, lot of clarity. The Moon card also is about revealing the deep, dark secrets, and the unknown comes to light here. I don't feel like you guys reconcile just because there's even the Sun card shines bright light on things. Queen of Cups, there's deep emotion. Again, like the Moon card, there's something below the surface that comes to light, and then it just realizes, okay, well, this cannot reconcile. There's just some hidden things that even you don't know about that does come to light, that does is revealed, and then you're like, okay, no, this can't work. So I don't feel like you guys do, and I don't know if you might even find out a little later, and then you're like, oh yeah, that wouldn't have worked. And you're like, what happened? What? And it happens, and the weirdest things. I mean, I even met someone once who, um, when they came over to my house and they were like, this looks familiar. I think I've been here before. They had hooked up with my ex in the basement while we were splitting up. And they were staying down in the basement. And the rule was none of us fool around in the house until we're completely parted and whatever. We'll just work out rent and so we can survive. But you find out later, you're like, oh yeah, that wouldn't have worked. All right, but that's what's coming in for you, Rogue Majestic 1111. So hang in there, hang in there. All right, and then Anjali, you are up next. So, what harsh thoughts about you? And if you're wondering if what harsh thoughts someone is having about you, or if this person that's on your mind, which when we look at that, the first thing that Spirit is just saying before even cards are coming out is, other people's harsh thoughts are about them, not about us. Our harsh thoughts are not about them, they're about us. It's our fears. When we say harsh thoughts, we can just replace that harsh. Any lower vibrational energy we can replace with the word fear, right? And so when we look at, oh, okay, so what fearful thoughts do they have about me? Well, their fears are theirs. My fears are mine. And so when I have fearful thoughts about someone, that's my fears that I can look at. And so I feel like Spirit is just saying, for your question, really look at your own thoughts and beliefs and mindsets. And, because those are the things, which is what these are. 10 of Swords and the Devil card. Devil card is all about looking at our own thoughts and beliefs and mindsets that make us feel constricted and trapped. The 10 of Swords is having enough. I'm tired. I'm sick and tired of all trying to please everyone and all these thoughts and beliefs and mindsets, all these beliefs that are rooted in fear of losing conditional love, fear of rejection. It's that's what's at the root of everything, is the fear of rejection, the fear of not being good enough, the fear of failing at something. What does that mean about me? Right. And so when anyone has harsh thoughts, it's generally like, and you can put this on yourself, right? When I am upset with someone, it's because they didn't do what I wanted them to do. They weren't being who I thought they should be, supposed to be, need to be, have to be. They're not doing what I thought they should be, blah, blah, blah. They're not saying what I think they should say, or they're saying things I don't think they should say. They're doing things I don't think they should do, right? That's all the harshness. It's fight or flight that we go into with our fears. And so when you realize that if anyone has harsh thoughts and they're expressing harshness, it's because they're in fear, and it has nothing to do with us. Their little inner child feels unsafe or out of control, or our little inner child feels unsafe or out of control. It goes into fight or flight mode to try to control. It knocks out our intelligent, loving, compassionate side of us because it doesn't want to think and do all that. The little 2-year-old inside of us with its hissing pet cat are in charge, and they don't make very intelligent, loving, and compassionate choices. They just want to feel in control again and feel safe. They'll do all sorts of stupid, unloving, uncompassionate things to make that happen. And so when we realize that, when we go like, that was stupid of me to do that, we're like, oh, it's because I was out of my mind. I literally was. And they are doing that. They're out of their minds. They really are. They're out of their intelligent adult mind. And they're in their fear, reactionary, 2-year-old hissing cat survival mode. So hopefully that helps Anjali just to realize that their actions have little to do with you, and your reactions have little to do with them. This is your triggers, those are theirs. You can understand your part in what you're experiencing, and asking yourself, what harsh thoughts do I have about myself? And that's very revealing, right? All right, so that's what they have for you, Anjali. So many blessings to you. Hang in there. And then I'm to my last reading here, and I've got I think it's called Astha. And thank you for your patience here. I see here now, after I had left to hear that you were even feeling a bit suicidal. So my apologies that I did not see that until now. But hopefully, if you truly are feeling suicidal, that you will call authorities, get someone to get you somewhere where you feel safe, um, to where you won't do anything bad. I have been suicidal in my life before, where I was going to end my life. And I know fear and everything around us can feel so overwhelming. And so, the biggest thing we can do when we have these thoughts is take big, deep breaths to get out of our fear and our fight or flight, because that's the ultimate flight is I'm getting the hell out of this life. When you take big, deep breaths and just hold it and release it, helps us step out of that urgency of fleeing or fighting, and then we can talk to someone, get someone that will take us somewhere where we can get someone to talk to us and truly help us make sure we don't do that because we need you here. So hang in there, just give it another moment, and then another moment, and then another moment, and things do eventually transform. So hang in there, my dear. And yeah, you have a heartbreak, and I know that fear, that's the fear that triggers here. Yeah, and I can tell, yeah, definitely feeling like shit. Yeah, trust me, you're not alone in having experienced this. Um, so what messages do you need to hear right now? And yeah, tired, confused, done. All of that comes with fear, right? I mean, what happens when um, as I was mentioning just a moment ago, when our inner child feels unsafe or out of control, which when someone does something that we take as defining us, right? Whatever they said or didn't say, did or didn't do, and we're like, we our body goes into reactionary mode where it throws out our intelligent brain. That's where the confusion comes in. It doesn't want us to stand there and think about, is that a saber-toothed tiger or a lion? Rah! And then it eats us, right? We go into this fight or flight mode that's just about running, I mean, attacking or running away, or attacking and then running away. And we go into that mindset while we're in fear. And the feeling of heartbreak, really, our hearts can never be broken, which is great news. But when it's the Three of Swords message. It usually has like a heart with three swords stuck in it. And it can feel like our heart is breaking because we have this prick in our hearts and we're just like, it's like when someone startles us and scares us and we have this fear that comes in, um, and then we realize it's just my brother scaring me. And then then the fear goes away. But when it's an emotional fear that kicks in, where we're defining our worth by someone else's words or non-words, actions or non-actions, right? When that happens and we're defining ourselves by that stuff, we go into the fear of I fear rejection, I fear I'm not good enough, I fear I'm unlovable, and we don't recognize it right away that we're safe, and so it loops, and we have this heartache. It just keeps looping and looping and looping and looping until we get distracted with something, and then mysteriously the pain stops because we're distracted till we remember, oh, that's right, I'm heartbroken. Pain, pain, fear, fear, loop, loop. We go to sleep. We don't remember it while we're sleeping until we wake up and go, oh no, pain, pain, loop, loop. And we realize that the pain we're feeling in our heart is fear. And when we can calm down, like that deep breathing, the deep breathing in through the nose and holding it and then exhale through the nose, or if you can't do it through your nose, through your mouth, just hold it as long as you can, and then try to breathe out as long as you can, and breathe in and hold it, and then breathe out. And that helps get rid of this adrenaline and the fear, and it helps us step out to where we can see things more clearly. That intelligent, loving, compassionate side for ourselves returns back instead of being the little 2-year-old and its pet hissing cat that's in charge when we're in reactionary mode. And so if we can do that, then we can try to understand things and go, okay, let's take a look. And in this space of calmness, let's see what message Spirit has here for you around these fears and what's happening here. All right. Yeah. Wow. Yeah. You definitely have these new beginnings coming here. Okay. All right. Yeah. I mean, the bottom of the deck, I mean, you've got literally 4 ones. Got the Magician, which is the number 1, which is a new beginning. You've got the Ace of Swords. You've got the Ace of Wands and the Ace of Pentacles. So there is this new opportunity that's coming up here in your life, and a new beginning can be scary. A restart, a reboot can definitely be scary. But just know that whatever's unfolding, that it's not happening to you, that it is happening for you. And I know sometimes it's hard to see it while we're in it, but we've got the Empress card, which is about Mother Nature, Mother Nurture, and again, new birth, all of that energy on the bottom of the deck here. It's just screaming about an ending and a beginning. And sometimes when we're in a toxic relationship, we don't see it, and we don't, out of fear, we don't see, a way out of it. And we have this belief systems in our brain that we grew up with, that this is the best I can do. I'm lucky to have this abusive, toxic relationship or whatever it may be. And even like of the job too, it's like we think, well, I don't want to leave this job because I don't know if there's another job available. I don't know if I want to leave this person because what if this is as good as I can get, you know? And then something happens and we get fired, or they break up with us, or they cheat on us, or whatever, happens, they're unfaithful. And then we have all this, oh my gosh, the fear kicks in. Then we realize, you know what? I wouldn't have left that relationship on my own. I needed them to end it, whether it's job or person. And and then there's this change that happens, that comes through all this. You've got, um, and it's like, why would I want of this to happen for me? We are taught this happens to us, and then we experience the victimhood of, oh, this is happening to me. They're doing this to me. But when we're done feeling that, then that's when we can come to this beautiful place of, okay, why did I want this to happen for me? One of the things that they're saying here is that you've got the Three of Pentacles, which is the be true to your authentic self, walking on eggshells, dimming your light, trying to be who you think they want you to be or who they're demanding you to be isn't you. We need you to be you in this life. And you do have a relationship down the road that will love you for you, not for who you're trying to be for them. And I like this freedom that comes in with all this, because it's this, you've got the birth, the Empress, which is creativity and this freedom to be you and express yourself. That's coming in here. You also have the Emperor, which was coming in here, which the Emperor is about, you know, they rule over all kings, and they rule over their empire, and they're like, deciding who I'm going to be. They get a lot of advice from people, a lot of stuff growing up about the supposed tos and shoulds and need tos. But the emperor is like, at some point, goes, thank you for all your advice, everyone, and opinion, but I'm going to decide what I want for my life. You put form around it and you go forward. Aries energy, again, new beginning. They're the first sign in the zodiac. They're the new beginning, the birthers. And so, it's like birthing this new life that's coming in here. You have the Six of Pentacles too, and the Six of Pentacles is becoming aware of your out of balance giving and receiving. Usually you've developed this when you were 7 years old and younger, where someone in your life, a parent, grandparent, whoever was important in your life when you were that young, you had to give so much and get so little back. And as children, we don't know any better. And so you had this out of balance giving and receiving that came in, where that just sunk down into our subconscious. It's been running on autopilot down there since then. And so, there's this realization of, oh, okay, I feel like I have to give so much to deserve so little. We become enablers in codependent relationships, overgivers, always giving. And whether it's school or job or relationships or family or friends, we're the ones overgiving, 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 getting very little back. Well, that's because that's running below the surface. If you have a chance to check out my playlist on my main page, there's a at the very top, one of them is Take 10 with Zen. Episodes 4 and 5 are very powerful, especially episode 5. It talks about the Six of Pentacles, gives you some tools on how you can realize that and bring it from 1,000 love coins to where you get one love coin to 1 to 1. And that allows healthy love to come in for you. You also have the Eight of Pentacles, which is, just know that all of this is happening on purpose for a purpose. It's to help you move along in the outside world to bring you to the place where your higher self wants you to go in your life, and that all the stuff that happens truly does happen for us. Even in the moment, if we can't see what it is, we can just trust that it is unfolding, and you will see the harvest of all the blood, the sweat, the tears that you put into your life, and that it's worth hanging around for. So hang in there. And of course, I'm not a licensed counselor or practitioner. Counseling really helped me if you're able to do any of that, especially if you're suicidal. Definitely seek help and assistance. You deserve it, and just know you're here for a reason. That you're not. It's a giant jigsaw puzzle, and this giant jigsaw puzzle would be incomplete without the piece that's you. There's no extra pieces in this giant jigsaw puzzle. You here on purpose. So hang in there. And I'm sending you lots of love. Lots of love. Right. Hopefully that helps, Atha. And hang in there. For everyone else, I'll be back here in about 2 hours for my evening session. And remember, as we're going through every second of every day of our lives, that we truly are eternally, unconditionally loved by the Mother and the Father of all things, our Creator. And of course, I love you too. So until I see you again, enjoy the rest of your day or night, wherever you may be in the world. Until I see you again, much love to you. You hang in there. You take care. We'll see you soon.